Hey again. I've got a little visor down right now. I've got the sun shining in my face. The days are definitely getting shorter. It's only 5:25 p.m. and the sun is already over here. Just gosh. Oh, they're getting shorter. It's always kind of depressing when that first becomes obvious. And it's usually around this time of year. It's like, oh man, dang. Or I'll look outside at 8:30 and it's dark. Like, why is it dark? This sucks. I am headed to Goodwill. I'm headed to one of the good Goodwills around here. Take advantage of my discount card before they do away with it next year, which I still think is bullshit. I mean, they've had that discount card for forever, 15 years at least that long. And now they've done away with all of their discounts. This one I didn't think they would get rid of. I thought, now this one, you pay an annual fee every year to use that card. Of course, the fee has gone up damn near every year. I think now it's like $20 a year, maybe more, to renew it. It used to be $10. It was $10 for a long time. Then it was like $12, then $15. Now I think it's at least $20. But yeah, they're doing away with it in June of next year. Or whenever you paid for your year, whenever your year runs out. Yeah, after that, no more. So I probably won't shop there as much. I tried to go by the little thrift store this morning, and they had up a sign that they're closed for renovations for another week or so. I didn't even know they were closed for renovations. Apparently they've been closed for over a week. I had no idea, but I haven't been there in a while. I'm gonna start taking more donations to them and shopping more at their store. Their store is very small, but you can find some deals in there, and it's cash only, but there's no tax, and you find I found some great deals in that little thrift store. I don't know. I don't think I should even bother moving the visor. I'm gonna need it again in a minute. I was gonna tell you about this random thing that occurred to me last night. I was scrolling through Facebook and this little video popped up of a guy, doing a little skit of how Southern dads put their kids to bed. And he's pretending to be like, a dad. Like, he's got a pillow in his shirt and he's got on these glasses. He's trying to be like a Southern dad, I guess, and the things that they say to their kids when it's bedtime. And it occurred to me, my dad never did that. I can't recall either of my parents ever even telling me good night. It was always just go to bed, brush your teeth, go to bed. And that was that. I mean, and if you didn't do it, you get a whipping and then you go to bed. So you learn right quick to just go to bed. Go to bed. There was no preparing to go to bed or no. Hell no. Hell no. There was none of that. Because I'm Gen X, I'm Generation X, and I think a lot of us were just kind of just left to our own devices a lot. Go to bed. That pretty much sums up our entire childhood right there. Go play. Go to bed. We wanted to have children, but we just don't want to be around you. Just get out of my face. That's pretty much it. I think sometimes my parents forgot they had kids. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so I was watching this video, and that was one thing that occurred to me. My parents I don't remember them ever telling me good night or tucking me in. There was this one period of time, though, that I do remember. I think I was in elementary school, and my mom would read to me at night. It was during a period of time that I think that she and my dad were not getting along, and frankly, I think she was looking for an excuse to go do something away from him for a little bit. I could be wrong, but I kind of think that's what sort of precipitated that, because it didn't last very long, and then she quit doing it, and then it was back to go to bed. Maybe she felt guilty. I don't know what it was, but it didn't last long. But I remember there was a brief period where she would read to me at night, and then that just kind of stopped, and it went back to just go to bed. So, yeah, I don't have any recollections of anybody, helping me get ready for bed. Just go to bed. Yeah. And something else also occurred to me, and this is really weird. This is really strange, and I don't know why this never occurred to me before. All right, when it came to school, being taken to school and coming home, in the mornings, the bus was not an option. Now, from pre-K through 5th grade, I went to this little church school, and they didn't have buses. We all had to be dropped off and picked up every day. There were no buses for this school. My brother is 4 years older, and he never went to the church school. It actually did not start. They opened for business, the church school, when I was in pre-K. And they started with just pre-K and kindergarten, and then they would add a grade every year as the kids got older, and up through 5th grade. I think now actually the school goes all the way through 12th grade, but back when I went there, it only went through 5th grade. And my brother didn't want to go to school there because he was already kind of established at the local public school, elementary school, and he didn't want to change schools, so he just stayed where he was. He did not ride the bus to school in the mornings because, okay, I grew up in this geographically kind of a large county, but it was very rural, sparsely populated compared to, a more urban area. The bus routes in this county were ridiculous. They were crazy. They were very long. They were very, very long. So they didn't have to use as many buses. When I would get it, like say when I was in middle school, I started riding the bus home every day. We got out of school at 2:45. It would be almost 4:30 before I got home because I was always the last kid off the bus. In the mornings, the route was reversed, so I would be the first kid on the bus, and the bus came by our house. Well, it didn't even come to our house. We lived on this long dirt road. You'd have to walk a quarter of a mile up the road to the paved road to get on the bus. The bus came by the house about 6 o'clock in the morning. And my mom said there was no way on God's green earth that she was going to get up early enough to get anybody on a bus at 6 a.m. I'm not getting up that early. We'll just take y'all to school. But here's what I don't remember. And this never occurred to me until last night. I don't even know what made me think of it. I don't remember how my brother got to school. I have no memory of anyone taking him to school. I mean, clearly somebody did. Now, when I was in elementary school, all the way up through 5th grade, most mornings my mom would take me to school. She would take me to school and then go to work. The school was not too far from where she worked. She would take me to school and then go to work. For years, she was the main one who would do it. I don't remember my dad doing it when I was in elementary school. Now, when I got to middle school, my dad took me to school pretty much the entire time. Yeah, which is weird because my mom was a social worker basically right across the street. I'm assuming, and my brother wasn't with us. When I was dropped off at school, he was not with us. I was always by myself. So it has to be then that the other parent was taking him to school, but I have no memory of it. I have no memory of even hearing anybody talk about it. I know there were a disturbing number of times when I was in elementary school that nobody picked me up. Neither of my parents would pick me up, and it would get on over in the afternoon, and they would have to call my house. We didn't have cell phones back then. They'd have to just keep calling my house until somebody answered. Is somebody coming to pick Mary up? Because we kind of like to go home, and she's still here. Are either of y'all coming to get her? And like my mom would think my dad was picking me up, and vice versa, and I would just get left there. I lost count of the number of times that happened. That happened a bunch of times, to the point where if it happened that often today, they'd probably call CPS. I mean, it's like, this child, I don't know what is going on with her parents. Like, they just keep leaving her here. And I kind of get how that happened, though, because usually when I came home from school, I would go outside and play. Like, I would just go outside. So if one parent got home, they wouldn't see me. They probably just assumed I was outside playing somewhere in the woods or something. So if they didn't see me, they didn't think anything. Wait, where's Mary? You know, they wouldn't think that Mary's probably off at the pond or in the woods somewhere. You know, they didn't think anything of it. So then, until they got the phone call, hey, nobody picked her up. So then somebody'd have to come get me. Yeah, it happened a lot. It happened a bunch of times. But I have no, and my brother and I never went to the same school. We never did. We're 4 years apart. We never went. When he graduated high school, it was the year before I started. I think, and I don't remember this either. I think he rode the bus home after school, but even that I don't remember. I don't remember if he even did that. I'm assuming he did. There was one year when I was little that we were both in the same after school program and we were picked up together. There was 1 year of that. But other than that, all through school, I don't remember how he got to school and I don't remember how he got home. It's so weird. To the point where my brother and I, we've never been close. We don't really ever talk. I don't think there was any problem. We've just never been close. We just never have. He's always lived all over the country. You know, I hardly ever see him. So we've never been close. But I'm almost to the point where I want to text him and say, how did you get to and from school when you were a kid? And I guarantee you the response would just be one word. What? Followed by probably something like, I don't know. My brother has told me, though, that he has blocked out, like he said, there are big chunks of his childhood he can't remember at all. And my mother, same thing. My mother says she can't really remember anything about her childhood before she's like 10 or 12 years old. She can't remember any. She has very slight, like little snips of memories, but nothing else. Now, she did go through some trauma, and I'm not going to talk about it, but she did go through some bad stuff happened in her childhood, and I kind of get it if she blocked it out. My brother went through some stuff too, and I kind of get why he might have blocked some stuff out. But if I were to ask him, how did you get to and from school? That sounds crazy, but I don't know. I don't remember. He didn't ride with me. My mom didn't take him because when I was still in elementary school, he moved on to middle school. No, he didn't ride with us. So I'm assuming our dad took him. But I don't know. He had to have. I mean, otherwise, how would he have gotten to school? Because he didn't ride the bus. Because my mom said, I'm not getting up and getting a kid on the bus at 6 a.m. Neither of us ever rode the bus in the mornings. That's just weird that I don't remember that. And I'm just wondering if anybody else, do you have anything from your past like that? That you just, stuff that you should probably remember, but you don't? Maybe I'm losing my mind, but I don't, it's something I've never thought about. I mean, I've never had to answer the question of, you know, how'd your brother get to school? Hell if I know. We never rode together, I know that. Because our schools were so far apart, I guess it was just easier for one. Because they were both leaving for work every morning, you know. Well, I'll take one, you take the other. That way neither of us has to do both. I guess. I don't know. It was kind of cool, though, when I was in middle school, and my dad would take me to school. He had a stick shift pickup truck. And he would always hold a cup of coffee in his hand. He would have his coffee cup in this hand, steering with this hand. And I had to change gears for him. I learned how to change gears. That way, he wouldn't have to put his coffee cup down. He could keep slurping on his coffee and driving. And it's really funny, too. I'm glad I never said anything. It would have been embarrassing. But they did this big, DARE did this big campaign thing, or Mothers Against Drunk Driving, somebody, when I was in middle school, you know, about drinking and driving and how it kills people and how it's terrible. And, you know, don't let anybody drink. Don't ever let anybody drink and drive. I come from a household where nobody drank, okay? There was no alcohol in my house. And I was young, okay? I didn't know. They did not explain. I thought they meant drinking anything and driving. I didn't realize they meant drinking alcohol. That I thought it was the act of drinking, because I had noticed several times while my dad was holding a cup of coffee, sometimes he'd he'd have to jerk the wheel, and then he'd get mad because his coffee would spill. Like, why do you have an open cup of coffee in here? You know, like, you're just asking to spill coffee on yourself. I thought that's what they meant, like, oh, he almost had an accident because he's steering with one hand, he's trying to drink coffee and change gears, and that's when I had to learn how to change the gears for him. So I had to learn to pay attention to when he had the clutch pushed in, and so I'm sitting over here changing gears for him. And sometimes I'd have to hold the steering wheel if he had, like, to fix his hat or adjust something, you know, I'd have to hold the steering wheel too. Like, you want me to just get over there and drive, you sit over here? I mean, I'm 11, but maybe I can do it. I thought they meant drinking anything. So I'm sitting in these, I remember they used to do these talks in the gym, you know, about drinking and driving and drugs, and how, you know, it sounded to me like people were, you know, giving away drugs on every street corner, and they told us what to say when the druggies approach you, all the things you say to them, just say no to drugs. And nobody ever offered me drugs. I was kind of disappointed. Like, I never got to use all the little clever quips and comebacks that the DARE people gave us. Nobody ever offered me any drugs at all. Hell, you made it sound like it was going to happen every time I stepped outside of my house. Nobody offered me any damn drugs. Well, I felt like I wasted time. But they would say, you know, don't ever let anybody drink and drive. And I felt terrible. I thought, oh my God, my dad drinks and drives every day. Oh God, he's gonna kill somebody. I didn't know. Fortunately, somewhere along the way, I figured out in the context of what they were saying, they meant alcohol, drinking alcohol. They did not make that clear. They just said, don't drink and drive. Drinking and driving is deadly. Don't ever do it. You could go to prison. You could kill people. I thought, I wonder if my daddy's aware of that. Maybe I should talk to him. But I didn't, because I was afraid of him being mad at me. So I didn't say anything. You learn to be quiet sometimes in a home, you know. So, yeah, I'm really glad I didn't speak up. Like, my dad does that every day. What should I do? Oh, shit. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, I have no memory of my brother being taken to school. And I'm assuming he rode the bus home, but even that, I don't know. I don't know. I honestly have no idea. I don't remember. So that's really weird. So, and I don't think it's, you know, I don't think I'm losing my mind. I don't recall ever knowing that. I knew how I got to school, and I'm assuming my other parent took him, but I don't know that for sure. But they had to have. Otherwise, how would he have gotten to school? Because neither one of us rode the bus in the mornings. I don't know. It was just a weird, random thing that occurred to me out of nowhere, and it was just really strange. Anyway, I'm going to go in here to the Goodwill and see if I can find anything good. And if not, I guess I'll just go back home. But thank you again so much for being here. I hope your weekend is still going well, and I'll see you again soon.